What's up, cuz?
It was just a regular day.
Then you got a backache. Are we in a relationship?
Follow me on Tripp Club.
I really got you, cuz. That's too.
Are you implying that I did this? No. You think I had something to do with this? Or that I set him up? Look. Officer, I know you got a job to do. But I could tell you this. You wasting your time here when you could be out there finding the person who really did this. 'Cause it wasn't me. Yeah, that was me, cousin. Getting interrogated. This is about to be a story time because this is one of the craziest things that ever happened to me. It was just a regular day. So, I was living in New York at the time, and I spent a lot of time hanging out with my cousin, and she had a girlfriend, and I was always the third wheel. But, you know, I enjoyed hanging out with my cousin. You know, we would do things, go out to eat, go to bars and things like that. I'm not sure if her girlfriend enjoyed me as much as I enjoyed hanging out with them, you know. But I was new in New York, and they were the only people that I knew at the time. So one day my cousin suggested that I should meet somebody, and I was like, well, you know, I don't know how to meet nobody, how I'm gonna meet somebody, you know. She was like, well, maybe we could go out sometimes, you know, I'll go out with you, you know, and you can meet somebody. Or she was like, have you ever called the chat line? And I was like, no, I ain't called the chat line. She was like, you should try the chat line. That's how I met, you know, my girl on the chat line. And I was like, yeah, you love that chat line, don't you? You know, that's how you met Kimba, you know. But I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try the chat line since we here, you know. So she gave me the chat line number, and I called it one night. They was in the room, and I was in the living room. It was bedtime. I had a mat on the floor, you know, you put your little blanket and cover and stuff on the floor, and I was just laying there, and I was like, well, let me call the chat line to see, you know, what's going on. Now, this was different than what they have nowadays, where you see a picture, a whole profile, where they tell you, you know, what they look like, how far away they is, and all these things. You didn't have that back then. All you had was voice memos, and the voice messages went on and on and on. You know, you would call in and you would leave a message, or you could just choose to listen to messages. And if you heard somebody that you wanted to speak to, you could leave them a message and they can leave you a message back. Or y'all could, you know, connect. They would send a message saying that this person wants to connect with you. So pretty much you just spend your time on the phone. You know, you hear, hey girl, yeah, I'm looking for some. You push that one, oh, yeah, what's up? This Billy Bob. I'm trying to get it popping. Who wants some big You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I want you to compound. Are you into golden shit? Yeah, this is T.S. Madison, and I'm a big dick. Stuff, yeah, I want a BDP. You know, and you just keep pressing and keep pressing on until, you know, you hear something that, you know, you might want to hear. Yo, what's up? This your boy, man. Out here in Brooklyn, just chilling, just low key, you know, trying to, you know, see what's up. Holla at me. I'm like, okay, that one sound okay. And then you leave a message back. Yeah, this your boy Tripp. You know what I'm saying? New to New York, man. Just trying to meet somebody, chop it up with, you know, sexy dude here. Holla at your boy, you know what I'm saying? Real nigga here. You know, and you send a message. Now, they will hear your message, and if they like your message, they can respond back. So, you know, I'm still going through the profiles. What's so good? Come holler at me. I'm horny right now. Come blow my back out. You know what I'm saying? the next thing you have a message from, and I'm like, okay. So you go and you check your messages up. What's up, bro? You sound sexy. Like, what's good? You know, and you like, oh, okay. Y'all can send messages back and forth. And then the person could say, you know, I want to connect with this person. So they'll send a connect so y'all could talk live. So this person sent a connect. So we ended up talking on the phone. So we talking. What's up? Yeah, new here. You know what I'm saying? Just here with my cousins and stuff like that. Trying to meet some people. You know, just to show me around New York. Oh, that's what's up. Where you at, in Brooklyn? Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn. Yeah, I stay in Brooklyn too. Okay, that's what's up. What you look like? Oh yeah, I'm this and that. I'm about 5. You know you gonna lie. I'm 5'10". No, it's best to keep it 100 because if you lie, they gonna see you anyway, possibly. So you tell them your stats and stuff like that. Which I don't know, when people ask you your stats. How tall is you? How much you weigh? I guess they just trying to see if you're big, because it don't matter what they tell you. You still might not like them when you see them. I don't care if the stats sound perfect. 6'2", they'll juice it up. And then when you see them, you be like, oh, no, I can't do it. So we exchanged stats and stuff like that. I was like, holla at me. He was like, well, I'm going to be in Brooklyn. If you want to meet, we could exchange numbers. And I was like, okay, we could meet, but it was one of them things where I need to see you first. Like, I'm not going to hang out with you and none of that stuff. You can come and meet me, like a meet and greet, so we can see if you really who you say you is. So he said, yeah, I'm gonna hit you up when I'm in Brooklyn, later on. And I was like, okay. So he did. Probably like next couple days, he was in the neighborhood and he sent me a text saying, yo, I'm gonna be in the neighborhood. You want to meet up? So I was like, cool. My cousins and them was doing their thing, they girlfriend thing in the room, You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to hear all that. So I'm like, he said, I'm going to come meet you. And I was like, okay. So I got dressed. I didn't tell my cousins and them that I was going downstairs to meet somebody. I just did it. So he calls me and tells me he downstairs on the corner. I didn't tell him exactly. I told him where to meet me. I said, meet me on the corner, whatever street I was on. I didn't tell him where my crib was at, because you never know, what could be happening, who the person could be. So I go down there, I see his car, and I go up to the car, to the passenger side, look in, I'm like, what's up? He like, oh, what's up? We shake hands, and he looked all right. He was an older gentleman, maybe like about 10 years older than me, probably, but he still, looked nice. He looked kind of urban, had a big chain on with diamonds on it, hanging. That's when the chains used to hang low, down to your belly button. He had on one of them, had on nice little jeans and had a nice haircut, brown skin. I was like, okay, So we was talking for a minute outside the car. And I was like, so what you got going on? Maybe we could meet up for a date or something like that. He was like, oh, let me know. I was like, okay. So he left and I went back upstairs. So we continued to talk, through text messaging and on the phone. More so on the phone, because it wasn't a real big thing with texting back then. One day we was talking and I asked him if he wanted to go to the movies. And I said, let's do a double date. I didn't want to go to the movies with him by myself. It was still new and fresh. So I asked my cousin and her girlfriend, I said, y'all want to go on a double date with this guy I met from the chat line? And they was like, yeah, let's do it. So I said, let's go to the movies. We go to the movies. He comes over. And when he comes over, he's acting, we invited him up this time because my cousins, and they were still getting dressed and things like that. And he got there early. We was all going to ride with him. So I invited him up. They all got a chance to meet him. And they was like, oh, he's handsome and stuff like that. But he was just a bit, he just tried too hard. Like, he tried to be hip hop. One of them older guys that's trying to be down. He was walking with a limp, and it was just like, calm down, man. It ain't that, he was driving all crazy through the streets, and we looking in the back seat scared, and I'm like, yo, can you slow down? He was like, oh, this is just how I drive, and and I was just like, okay. So that was one thing that I really didn't like. I was like, it just felt like he was just trying too much. You know, relax, chill. It'll be good, you know. But we went to the movies. We had a good time. We watched the movie. He dropped us back off and we continued to talk. Over the course of the month, we would talk off and on. Now, he was moving into his new place downtown Brooklyn. And he asked me, he said he needs some help moving. And would I help him? And I was like, well, what you gonna pay me for helping you? He was like, pay you? He was like, I gotta pay you to help me. I was like, well, you know, ain't nothing in life for free. He was like, well, you should come over. We gonna order some pizza. I'm gonna have some drinks and my best friend is gonna be there. I want you to meet him. It's gonna be fun. You know, he was like, I could feed you. And I was like, okay, you know, I was joking with him. I was like, okay, I'll help you. You know, I understand. So it was time for him to move. You know, he came and got me. Well, actually, his best friend came and got me and took me to the place because they were still setting up and getting stuff off the truck. And I helped him move. I helped him go to his old place and put stuff on. And we took it to the new place, took everything off, put it in the house. And we really had a good time. You know, we was drinking, eating pizza, having fun. His friend was there. And everybody had a great time that night. Just moving stuff back and forth in the house. We would stop, take breaks, talk and laugh, and they would tell me about situations that they've been through, and I really had a good time. Now, on this day when we was in his crib, while everybody else was outside, he tried to push up on me, like hugging on me and wanted to, and I was like, oh, chill. You know, he was like, oh, I can't get a hug. And I'm like, yeah, but you doing too much. He was trying to kiss me on my neck and all, and I was like, you know, that's a bit much. He was like, okay. So we continued to talk. We didn't really hang out much after him moving because I just really didn't like him like that. But I still was willing to get to know him. You know, he wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, I didn't feel like a love connection. But like I say, I was still willing to get to know him. So he asked me one day, you know, you want to get up and watch a movie? You know, I can cook for you and things like that. And I said, yeah, sure. What day? He was like, you can come over like 5 o'clock on Friday. And I said, okay. He was like, all right, so I'll be here. And I was like, that's what's up. So Friday comes and I go to his house. I might be a little bit late, maybe like got there like around 5:30, 5:15. I see his car in the driveway. You know, he drove a BMW. I go, knock on the door. No one answers. I'm calling him. Nobody answers. I'm texting, I called him back to back to back and he still don't answer. So I'm kind of like, why this dude ain't answering after he didn't have me come all the way over here on the train? And I was feeling some type of way. I stood there on the porch for about 5 minutes knocking on his door. And I'm like, okay, I felt like he was in the crib. I felt like, well, maybe he don't change his mind or, but I was like, no, that's weird. So after calling him several times and knocking on his door, he lived right downtown Brooklyn. You could walk off his street and be right on the shopping area. So I said, well, let me just go downtown Brooklyn and walk around. Maybe he went to a store and left his phone or dozed off or something like that. So I went downtown Brooklyn. I'm going in the stores and doing things like that. He never called me back, so I eventually went home. And I felt some type of way. I was like, yo, why would he have me come all the way down here and then just like stand me up and don't answer the door? Like, so I pretty much was over him. Still never heard back from him. So I was like, you know, I ain't gonna keep blowing him up. Like, he know that I was supposed to be there and he ain't even respond to me. So a couple days went by and I get a phone call from a strange number. And I answer. Hello? Hey, this is Officer so-and-so with the so-and-so police department. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Talk to me? Yeah. We would like you to come in. Can you come down to the precinct around so and so time? And I'm like, for what? Like, you sure you got the right number? Yeah, we sure we got the right number. Can you come in so we can talk to you? And I was like, well, what is it about? We'll tell you when you get here. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I'll come. Now, I knew I ain't do nothing, but I'm like, what do they want to talk to me about? So I'm nervous. I'm like, is this something that I did back home, or trying to go over everything? Like, I ain't do nothing. So I'm like, well, let me go down to this precinct and see what they want, because I don't want them coming looking for me, hunting me down and all that stuff. So I said, I'm going to just go down to the precinct and see what they want. Now, when I get to the precinct, I tell them that I'm here. They wanted to talk to me. They was like, okay, well, have a seat. They take me back in the room and they was like, have a seat, and so will come and talk to you. So the officer comes in and he starts questioning me. He said, do I know said person? And I was like, well, first they said his real name, but he told me his name was D. And I was like, yeah, D? And it was like, yeah, he lives down. And I was like, yeah, they asked me when was the last time I seen him. I told them the last time I seen him was when we was moving into his place. Then they say, well, how did you meet him and things like that? And I'm like, okay, I met him on a chat line. It was like a chat line. I was like, yeah, so they started asking me, was he gay? And I say, yeah. I mean, I ain't never messed around with him, but I met him on the chat line, so yeah. So after all the questioning, I'm like, so officer, what is this about? Like, why do y'all have me here questioning me about him? And they started asking me, so was I there on this day, which was the day that I was supposed to meet up with him? And I was like, oh yeah, I went there, but I never seen him. It was like, because we seen you in the area, our phone records, you was in the area and this and that. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I was in the area because I was supposed to meet up with him, but he never answered the door. So I was downtown Brooklyn walking around waiting for him, and I called him several times. It was like, okay. I was like, so can y'all tell me why y'all got me down here questioning me? And they was like, do I know that he's dead? And I was like, what? Yeah, he's dead. And I was like, wow, like, I didn't know what to feel like. I felt sad, but I really didn't know him well enough. I was just shocked. Like, dead, like, what happened to him? Like, what you mean he dead? I asked them what happened. They was like, you don't know what happened? I was like, no. Like, what happened to him? I was like, wow. After questioning them, they let me go. And I guess they didn't have enough evidence to charge me or hold me on it. I told them what happened. But come to find out, he was murdered. They told me that they would get back with me. He was stabbed several times, maybe like 20-something times in his place. Now, what I get from it is that, and this is the message in all of this. This guy was meeting random people on the chat line, DO dudes, dudes that's hustlers, on the chat line and on the street. And what he would do is he would offer them money to have sex with them, to give them head, or maybe to fuck them or them fuck him. And he did this with several guys. And this particular person, he picked up and he offered the guy money for sex. He offered him $40. And the guy said, yeah. He took him back to his place and they had sex. And after they got finished having sex, he told the guy that he only had $12. The guy got upset and was like, no, man, you said $40. Like, well, I want my money. And they got into an argument. He said he don't have it. He would have to go to the ATM and things like that. He was like, well, we going to have to go to the ATM. Like, I want my money. Things got heated and he said, I'm not giving it to you. You could take this $12. Him being a correctional officer and working downtown Brooklyn, I guess he thought, he had the upper hand on old boy. Things got heated. Old boy ran to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and came back and stabbed him 20-something times and left him dead in his apartment. You got to be careful out here when you're doing things like that, meeting up with strangers and having random sex, or you saying that you're going to pay somebody for a sexual act and then you just switch up and say no. A lot of these people have mental issues. A lot of these people doing these things solely for money, and they wouldn't do it. And they use the community because they know the infatuation with straight men that a lot of gay people have. They know the sexual attraction to them, and they using that to make money. A lot of them ain't mentally stable, so when you say you're going to give them some money to give them head, and then after you do it, you don't have the money, that could trigger something in them to make them snap and want to kill you. Now, this guy had been doing this for so long that they said it was too many fingerprints on his door and in his house that they couldn't say who did it. It was way too many. So that means he had a revolving door of strangers coming in. When we was there helping him move, it was just about 3 of us with him. But they said it was fingerprints all over his place from different men that they found. So this person got away with murder. Come to find out that he would flirt with people at the jail and pick up dudes downtown Brooklyn, go on the chat line and meet dudes. I think maybe he was attracted to me because he thought I was just some DL dude or, something like that on the chat line. But it just is like, it's crazy that he had to die like that. Be careful out here, guys. Make smart decisions. You don't want to be caught up in nothing like that. I never been interrogated the way that I was that day. They ask you so many questions over and over again, and then they find different ways to ask you the same questions just to see if your story change up. I understand how you can get nervous and it can seem like you're telling a lie because you want them to believe you. You want them, and it's just like you tired. Your mind is going in a million places. When they asking you when the last time you seen him, where did you meet him at? So is he gay? Did y'all have sexual relations? Did he do anything to make you mad? Why didn't you like him? Did he pay you for helping him move? Did he make you upset? Just so many things. It's like, no, who was there with y'all? Who can vouch for the time? Who can vouch for the time that you was at home? Why did you go over his house the next day? Why didn't he answer the door? Did you go in? Did he leave? It's just so many questions. You just be like, No, I didn't. Like, but when you're telling the truth, the story gonna stay the same. You just gotta say the same thing. Just say what happened. You know, I felt bad for D. I was very shocked when I heard the gruesome details of what really happened. It was like, wow, you never know what a person is doing. Here he is, this correction officer. I thought he had a great life, got a nice place, living downtown Brooklyn, prime real estate. I think anybody would want to live there. And yet and still, he's out here picking up stray guys and DL hustlers and having sex with them and not paying them and doing. It's just like the dirt that you do will eventually catch up to you. And you think you're getting away, you do it over and over again, and it's risky. And, something turns you on about it, but eventually it's going to catch up to you. It might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but eventually if you keep doing things like that, something's going to happen and it's not going to be in your best favor. Unfortunately, it took his life. Your actions. Watch what you do, because it can ultimately change the course of your life. You can decide when you go by your actions. It's free will. If you constantly doing dirt and doing wrong things, eventually it's going to catch up to you. So I'm just saying, enjoy yourself, protect yourself, but try to be a person with integrity. Be careful who you let into your personal space. Make wise choices when you on social dating apps. A lot of the apps people are using to meet people. Don't trust everybody that you meet on the map. Some people be lying about who they are. They got crazy backgrounds, and you invite them into your house and you got a nice crib, or they see you as something that's weak. A lot of these guys that's DL and who do these things for money, they look at gay people and they look at them as like they weaker than them, so they will try to rob you or take something from you. If somebody wants you to pay them for sex, don't do it. I don't feel like nobody is worth paying. You can find somebody that want to sleep with you for free, that's interested in you, just because they want you. Be careful. Everything is designed now to just happen so quick. I send you a message, I like your profile, you 5 miles away from me, come through, we can hook up, and then leave. But you inviting these people into your crib. Some of these guys are hustlers, and they trying to make money. And if they see you as a quick come up, they'll take the opportunity to do what they got to do. Having sex with men is just a hustle to them. So choose wisely, make smart choices when you on the dating apps. If you're on there looking for a hookup or love, I don't know, good luck. Because I don't know. Excessive behavior, it's not good. I ain't do it. That's all I know, is I ain't do it. But rest in peace, D. It's your boy Tripp. I'm out.